2012 was a transitional year for WWE. The company found itself standing between two eras. On one side were the established superstars who had carried WWE for years, and on the other side was a new generation of talent still trying to break through. Fans kept asking the same question: who is the future of WWE? That answer arrived in the most unexpected way. The date was November 18, 2012. The event was Survivor Series 2012. The main event featured a WWE Championship triple threat match between CM Punk, John Cena, and Ryback. From the very beginning, the match was intense. Cena tried to control the pace with his experience. Punk relied on strategy and timing, while Ryback used pure strength to dominate both men. The crowd was fully invested, reacting to every near fall and every big move. As the match reached its final moments, it looked like Ryback was about to win the biggest match of his career. He lifted Punk up, ready to finish the job, and then everything stopped. The arena lights flickered. A strange silence filled the building. Nobody knew what was happening. Suddenly, three men dressed entirely in black rushed through the crowd toward the ring. There was no entrance music, no announcement, just urgency and purpose. Those three men were Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns. At that moment, the WWE Universe didn't fully recognize them, but within seconds, they made their presence impossible to ignore. They surrounded Ryback and launched a brutal attack. Roman Reigns used his power to control him. Seth Rollins delivered fast, precise strikes. Dean Ambrose unleashed chaotic aggression. This wasn't a random brawl. This was a coordinated assault. Then came the moment that defined their arrival: the triple powerbomb. They drove Ryback through the announce table, completely destroying it. The impact echoed throughout the arena, and the crowd exploded in shock. Amid the chaos, CM Punk took advantage, pinned Ryback, and retained the WWE Championship. But CM Punk wasn't the real winner of that night. The real winners were those three unknown men, because in that moment, they didn't just interrupt a match, they introduced themselves. They were called The Shield. They claimed they had come to WWE to fight against injustice. They spoke about corruption, unfair advantages, and a broken system. According to them, they were there to fix it. But their actions told a different story. They weren't heroes, they were enforcers. In the weeks that followed, The Shield completely disrupted WWE. They interfered in matches, launched backstage attacks, and appeared without warning to destroy anyone in their path. Randy Orton, Sheamus, Big Show, Ryback, no one was safe. Their greatest strength was their unity. They never fought alone, they always moved as a unit. Dean Ambrose unleashed chaotic aggression. Together, they formed a perfect combination. Soon, a major question began to spread throughout the WWE Universe. Who are they working for? Because time and time again, their actions seemed to benefit CM Punk. Rumors started to grow that the Shield were hired guns working under Punk, but they repeatedly denied it. They made one thing clear: we don't work for anyone. This mystery only made them more dangerous and more intriguing. Their first major test came in December 2012 at TLC 2012. The match was The Shield versus Ryback, Kane, and Daniel Bryan. This was a tables, ladders, and chairs match, meaning there were virtually no limits. Weapons were everywhere, and the environment was brutal. Chairs flew through the air, ladders crashed to the ground, tables shattered on impact. But what stood out most was the Shield's teamwork. They were perfectly synchronized. Roman Reigns delivered heavy damage. Dean Ambrose created chaos. Seth Rollins executed high-risk, calculated moves. In the end, the Shield won the match, and with that victory, they sent a clear message. They were no longer newcomers. They were a legitimate main event level threat. As 2013 began, the Shield turned into a nightmare for the entire. They interfered in main events on Raw. They dominated SmackDown. They ambushed superstars backstage. Their presence meant unpredictability. At any moment, they could strike. During this time, another layer was added to their story. Paul Heyman became connected to the situation. For months, there had been speculation about CM Punk's involvement, and now the story deepened even further. This added complexity made the Shield even more compelling. After WrestleMania 29, the Shield officially became the top faction in WWE. They secured multiple victories, they earned the fear of the locker room, and they built a reputation that nobody could ignore. Then came their most defining moment, Extreme Rules 2013. On that night, they made history. Dean Ambrose became the United States champion. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns became tag team champions. One faction holding multiple championships at the same time. It was rare, it was powerful, and it proved their dominance. During this period, they aligned themselves with the Authority. Led by Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, the Authority used the Shield as enforcers to control WWE. At this point, the Shield were no longer just rebels, they had become part of the system. And that's where the cracks began. Dean Ambrose started seeing himself as the most dangerous member. Seth Rollins began thinking about his future beyond the group. Roman Reigns quietly grew into the strongest presence of them all. They were still united on the surface, but internally, things were starting to fall apart. Those cracks would eventually lead to one of the most shocking betrayals in WWE history.
As 2013 came to an end and 2014 began, the Shield were no longer just a dominant faction. They had become the most powerful force in WWE. Wherever they went, chaos followed. Raws, SmackDown, backstage, no place was safe from them. But during this time, another major power was rising in WWE, the Authority. Led by Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, the Authority wanted full control over WWE. And to maintain that control, they needed a group that wouldn't question anything, only execute orders. That group became the Shield. The Shield were used to maintain the power structure of WWE. Most importantly, they were used to suppress rising stars like Daniel Bryan, who was becoming one of the biggest fan favorites at the time. The Authority didn't want him at the top, so the Shield were repeatedly sent after him. At the same time, Randy Orton was being positioned as the face of the company, and he was heavily protected. A big part of that protection came from the Shield. They controlled matches for him, attacked his opponents, and in many cases directly influenced the outcomes. But this was also the point where things slowly began to change within the group. Mission slowly began to consume him. Then came the night that changed everything, June 2nd, 2014, an episode of Raw. That night, Triple H called the Shield to the ring. He said, "There's always a plan B." At the time, no one fully understood what that meant, but seconds later, WWE history was made. Seth Rollins picked up a steel chair from ringside. Reigns stepped forward. Dean Ambrose stood beside him. Rollins stayed back. He paused for a moment, and then, bang! A chair shot to Roman Reigns' back. The arena fell silent. No one could believe what they had just seen. Dean Ambrose reacted instantly. He rushed toward Rollins, but Rollins struck him too. Again and again and again. Roman Reigns was down. Dean Ambrose was
After Seth Rollins betrayed the Shield, a new era began in WWE. The Shield was no more, but its 3 members were now on separate paths, each determined to prove themselves. First, let's talk about Seth Rollins. Rollins became the chosen one of the Authority. With full backing from Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, he was pushed as the future of the company. In 2014, he competed in the Money in the Bank 2014 ladder match. The match featured major names like Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, Jack Swagger, Rob Van Dam, and most importantly, Dean Ambrose. For Ambrose, this wasn't about winning the contract, it was about destroying Rollins. The match turned chaotic. They fought on ladders, outside the ring, everywhere. In the final moments, Kane interfered and attacked Ambrose. That distraction allowed Rollins to climb the ladder and grab the contract. That victory changed everything. Meanwhile, Dean Ambrose became completely obsessed. He chased Rollins everywhere, Raw, backstage, even parking lots. This rivalry became one of the most intense feuds in WWE history. At the same time, Roman Reigns began receiving a major push. WWE positioned him as the future face of the company. He started winning big matches and being booked strong, but not all fans accepted him. At Royal Rumble 2015, Roman Reigns won the match. However, the crowd reacted negatively. Even when The Rock came out to support him, the boos didn't stop. This backlash became a major challenge for WWE. During this time, Rollins fully established himself as a top heel. He was arrogant, cunning, and always one step ahead, using the Authority to his advantage. His most iconic moment came at WrestleMania 31. The main event was Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. The match was brutal and physical. Both men pushed each other to the limit. Then suddenly, Rollins' music hit. He ran down to the ring with the Money in the Bank contract. History was made. Rollins cashed in. The match became a 3-threat. He hit Roman Reigns with a curb stomp and pinned him to win the WWE Championship. This moment became known as the Heist of the Century, one of the greatest cash-ins in WWE history. Meanwhile, the rivalry between Ambrose and Rollins continued. They battled in ladder matches, Hell in a Cell, and multiple intense encounters. Their chemistry was undeniable. In late 2015, Rollins suffered a serious knee injury. He was forced to relinquish the championship. During this time, Roman Reigns won the WWE Championship, but immediately after, Sheamus cashed in his contract and took the title away. Reigns once again began chasing the championship. Then came one of the most historic nights in WWE, Money in the Bank 2016. On that night, something incredible happened. Seth Rollins won the WWE Championship. Moments later, Dean Ambrose cashed in his contract. Ambrose pinned Rollins and became champion. In a single night, all 3 members of the Shield held the WWE Championship, a moment that proved just how successful they had all become. After that, Ambrose moved to SmackDown as champion. He entered a feud with AJ Styles. Rollins, meanwhile, turned babyface. He became known as the Kingslayer. Roman Reigns slowly found his place. Despite the backlash, he continued to grow and eventually became one of WWE's biggest stars. In 2017, fans finally got what they had been waiting for. The Shield reunited. The crowd exploded. The chemistry was still there. The bond felt real again. They reunited once more in 2018, but this time reality stepped in. Roman Reigns announced that he was battling leukemia. It was an emotional moment. The Shield stood together once again, not just as characters, but as brothers. Soon after, Dean Ambrose left WWE. He joined All Elite Wrestling under the name Jon Moxley. There, he became a major global star. Today, Seth Rollins is a multi-time champion. Roman Reigns is one of the most dominant champions in modern WWE. Jon Moxley is a top star on the global stage. The Shield was never just a faction. They were the future. They were a revolution. They were a brotherhood. Their rise,
dominance, betrayal, and reunion tells one of the greatest stories in professional wrestling history. One night at Survivor Series, 3 unknown men, 1 triple powerbomb, and WWE was changed forever.